Hello everyone, Nina here with Waffle Flower. Galina is here with me, and we're here to talk about all things Postage Collage.
Hi guys, I'm so excited to be with you again.
We're going to go over some of the basics in the beginning. We think it's a good time to kind of refresh what we have in our system. If you're new to this collection, you'll have a good place to start. If you're with us since the very beginning and knows the Postage Collage collection in and out, you can click on the timestamp listed in the video description to jump to the section that might interest you. You don't want to say anything?
Oh. So let's jump in?
Great. If you can see our table right now and outside the camera, there's cards and products all over the place. We're barely clearing this area to film this video. This collection is now huge, and we're still ending, and I'm still excited about the upcoming ones.
Yes, so where you should start your Postage Collage collection?
So this is the third year we're celebrating Postage Collage. I think it's time that we talk about our checklist. So at least we have something we can follow through.
Yeah.
And if you haven't already, they're free to download on our website.
We have a checklist for year 1, year 2, and also we're going to have a checklist for year 3. In year 1, the first column lists the basic products for the most popular card making sizes.
The A2 size is the original and works with all of the same stencils in the collection.
If you choose another size, only simple background stencils are available.
But you can still use any of the stamps and dies to create your own collages.
In year 3, we added new basics for several card sizes, including the frames die for A2.
We wanted to offer more options across sizes, so we also introduced the NPC system, Nesting Postage Collage.
Our goal is to release at least one stencil for the NPC system in every release.
You'll also see a few experimental special sets for more experienced users, along with mini sets that are a fun way to get started.
Like a Postage Collage Circle Sentiments.
Yeah, these are the special ones because we had a little die and we went ahead and made more little mini seals so you can use them with any of the Postage Collage products you have.
And they are great to be placed on every occasional cards because they have hello, miss you, and birthday sentiments.
And most of the other Postage Collage little 3x4 stamp sets are usually themed, which means they go with a certain stencil. That's why Galina did this all-occasion set, so you can use it with any of your designs. I think that's a very good idea because originally we only had the Postage Collage panel die for A2 cards. So that's how they didn't have a size on it. It's just called Postage Collage die and Postage Collage blocks die and Postage Collage blocks stencil. Those are like the three very basic ones you can start with.
We also are thinking about other card makers like A7, A6 card makers, and we want to have more sizes of our original Postage Collage die.
So that's why we came out with A6, A7, Slimline, and Mini Slimline. One of the benefits of the Postage Collage collection is the panel die. With the panel die and the block stencil, you can pretty much reuse any of the stamps, dies, or stencils you may already have in your stash. And that's why we only had the panel die, blocks die, and block stencil for all the other card sizes.
Yes, so you can place your own stamps on there or put some other dies from your stash and just play with Postage Collage.
The easiest way, if you're new to this collection, the easiest way to get started with all the basic stuff is to go to the Waffle Flower website and then find the Postage Collage bundle collection. And in here, we have all the basic bundles. We have starter bundles, which contains the two basic items you need, the panel die and the blocks stencil. And we also have another bundle which includes the blocks die, which give you more options with your Postage Collage dies that you can make shadow box cards or like shaker cards.
Having a block die is like another level of your card making and die cutting. Just because it's enough to have original die and stencil, you also can add to create shadow box cards, or even you can place an acetate sheet behind it and create some shakers.
We actually have videos showing you how the blocks die and the panel die works together. It's amazing how you can stencil first, then die cut, and you can use the blocks die to die cut out of your panel die and make a postage edged window card. It's really fun how they work together, and they're really flexible, whichever one you want to use first. Like you can also use the cutouts on the panel die. Like there's so many things you can do with them.
With the blocks die, you can use a foam tape to add more dimension to your cards.
You probably know about our Postage Collage collection because one of the themed stencils we had, but all those stencils only work with the original A2 size. The A6, A7, Slimline, and Mini Slimline, they only have the block stencil and the panel die and blocks die for basics. You can use any of our Postage Collage stamps and Postage Collage dies to make your own collages.
And that's great because you can mix and match all those stamps on any size of your card. You can you can trim off your Postage Collage die cut and place all other stamps on your card just to make your own collage on the card.
So coordinating stencils for the Postage Collage dies were only available on A2 until now in April. Because in April, we have some of the prettiest background stencils. We call it the Wavy lines stencils in this release for all card sizes. One new basic for you, because this creates a beautiful background for any of your silhouette stamps.
I was also thinking about adding some kind of ground to our Postage Collage collection. For example, on this card, I already placed some trees from our
Winter
Hills die and stencil. I used only stencil to create some kind of ground and hills for my silhouette die cut cats.
Kind of like a backdrop for all your little things is what we hope what these new stencils will do.
Yeah, that's why we were thinking about the silhouettes first, because you can divide those stencils and use only first layer as your background layer and place your stamps on them. Also, you can use all layers to create a beautiful sky shape or underwater stamps with your stamps. Because
it's like a background.
Yeah, it's a background, and that's why I was thinking about it. It can be a sunset, it can be water, it can be just ground, or maybe a mountains.
Yeah, it's very versatile. So to me, the reason I really wanted it was because I saw the beautiful cards our design team member Jane created.
There is one more thing that is new for all sizes.
We nested many individual stamp shapes in the panel dies and the block dies. And now we have coordinating stencil to help you color the openings so you can ink blend them to use with your other Postage Collage stenciled images.
Also, you can mix and match them, stamp sentiments on them, or just place another stamp marks on it to add more interest to your cards.
Both the Wavy line stencils and the inner block stencils are available now in our April release.
Every April we'll have something new and something special for this month, just to celebrate.
So for our April releases, we're usually trying to look back and think what else can be added to provide flexibility to the Postage Collage system. So that's why we have the Wavy line stencils and the inner block stencil just to complete the collection. But we're also adding something new.
We released something new. It's a Postage Collage frames dies.
We released the Postage Collage frames die back in January.
Yes, and now we have some special addition to those die set to give you more options to play with Postage Collage collection.
That is the Postage Collage frames stamp set, and there will be a matching die to cut them out with a little white border, and that matching die works with the Postage Collage frames die too.
So you can layer both of them to add more dimension to your Postage Collage images.
Let's see some samples.
Yes, so for a picture frame stencil, new fun way to play with your postage collage images, because you can combine the picture frame dies with those stenciled images to make a wall picture frame on the one card. You can trim off the images and place them under the frame die cuts to create real-looking picture frames.
We had the frame die because we had the cats and dogs stencil. They look like an animal portrait. So Galina had the frames to go with them. And then when we have the frames, I want to have like artwork and daily photos kind of stuff to be framed with them. And then it just keep rolling, and I'm still having fun.
Yes, me too. And I like the new look of the stencil because it's similar to oil paintings that you can see on the walls.
Yeah, and we have many requests to make A7 stencils. The reason we don't is we want to keep all the same stencils to A2 cards. But once you have the frame, especially, they're big enough that you can make A7 cards. This is an A7 card easily. And I'll have a spare to make an A2 card. I really like that it adds to the size to accommodate bigger card sizes.
There's one more thing new. It's a square postage collage. You can celebrate with us by having this square postage collage die as a gift with purchase.
The square postage will have 12 stencils in total, so it's kind of like a little fun thing that you get with your order.
And it will be a new small collection for all postage things.
You'll have the die as a gift with purchase this month, but also every month from April, we'll have one new stencil that goes with this square postage.
Yes, and you can use this postage collage die to create your own collages or fill the whole background to make it simply like this.
I really like the size of the new postage, and also everything about this square postage collection is it provides the same fun experience as the original Postage Collage collection with same stencils. You use the die, you cut it out, and you stencil, or you can stencil first and then cut it out. It's really fun.
Yeah, and also on the new stencil with these flowers, we have just one block opening to color the background of this die.
The stencils will be released one per month for the next 12 months. Do you remember what we did to celebrate year 2? The mini postage collage, the miniature.
Yes, yeah.
The miniature was so cute. And it is the same idea of die cutting out, stencil it, or you can stencil and die cut. Like it's, what do you call this? Like the whole process is the same. So you get an idea of how the other bigger sets might work.
Yes, because even on that tiny postage collage, you can still use your small stamps or small die cuts.
I remember your card. It was so cute.
Mm-hmm. With a little strawberry.
Yes. That's everything new in the April release, and we wanted to share something fun.
It's time for something fun, and I'm ready to do something fun. Focus.
With all the cards laying out, we were going through all the cards we've made, and I think it will be fun to kind of pick some favorites.
So, what's your favorite top 3 stencils from last year?
Just from last year, my top 3 picks.
Yes.
You should share too. We'll put it out together. The third favorites. I prepared my cards that use the stencil that I really enjoyed using in the last year's designs. I'm ready, and we'll go with the third pick, the second pick, and then the first pick. Okay. I'm ready. I really enjoy it, right?
I mixed all
Are you
my
ready?
cards. I mixed all my...
Just from last year, this cannot count.
It's
the
from
three
last
stencils.
year.
No, I'm pretty sure no. Spectacular year 2.
Yeah, the last year is year 2.
Year 3.
Now year 4?
Yes! These are the only ones you can pick. Galina and I are going to share our third pick of our favorite stencils released last year.
Right. So you go first.
You ready? We'll do it together.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. What do you have?
I have good.
It's only your third pick? Okay, my third pick is the
Tropical flowers.
Tropical flowers. Can you tell me a little bit why it's your third favorite?
First of all, I'm a cat person. Maybe that's why. And also, I like how all the cats are playful. We have a portrait of a cat, and also some cats are hunting and playing with like in the real life. They For example, my cat is really like to play with his little mouse and sitting in a box and hunting from the box. So I put those ideas on the Postage Collage.
Yes. And I'll always remember the meow stencil because that's the cat that triggered the frame style.
Yes, because it's go right like a portrait of cat.
And now the frame style has been out of stock, and we just restocked the frame style. So if that's something,
Yeah, and also you can put those flowers in frames and have a floral wall on your
yes, like they are all like perfect little things you can put in your frames. The reason I like this one is it's kind of simple. You know how the tropical flower colors are. To me, it's all about easy to use. So I like how it's just the orange, yellow, orange, and red, and a little bit of blue and greens in here, and you get a very colorful card. And this is the one that we didn't have a background.
Yes, that's why we can use a block stencil with all our stencils that don't have a background. So you can put a block stencil over your already colored images.
Very cute. Okay, second favorite.
Second favorite.
One, two, three. That's your favorite?
Yeah. I tell why. I like the whole image of Santa on this postage. Of course, you can trim it and use only a face of it. I really like that. Also, the other like main scene of all the merch from Santa is his bell. Belly, his bell.
We have tried many different designs featuring that look in the past, but now you can trim it off and do.
Yeah, and you can like all them together, and also you can trim them apart to have only this like beautiful image of his belly only. And another, the most fun thing about it, that you can have the Santa's list. We have a matching stamp that you can use with this paper roll to stamp inside of it. Like Santa's list, you can customize every card because you can place your friend's name or your family member's name on this list and just send them this card so they will know they are on naughty list or a good one.
My pick is the So Fun Stencil. To be honest, even though in the very first release, Galina has the idea of stamping over the stenciled panel, I never tried because
Oh my God, go away!
until this one.
Oh really?
Until this one. So the So Fun is the first one I wanted to add the details, probably because the cat face details are on the stamp. And after I stamp on it, it just feels so good.
And you just enjoy the process by stamping those small details, and your card pattern is just growing bigger and became busier and prettier.
Yes, the stamping really make a big difference. But on this one, no stamping.
That's why it's your favorite card.
It's easy.
It's easy.
Yeah,
Nina goes by like easiest way, and I always go by hardest way with a lot of details. It's just a fun way to make our card making process different, and we're all different. So
well, let's say this: whether you like quick and easy cards or lots of details, the Postage Collage collection have you covered.
for sure.
Okay, first pick. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God!
I love
Finally,
it.
we
I
agree
love
on
it.
some design.
No, and I think it's the stamping details that you add on top of the stamps. It's easy because it's one stamp. You add all the details to the panels, and then with the frame dies to filter it.
It's actually can be named easy stencil because only this one maybe have a lot of details, and then you have just a couple colors that you don't need to mix up or something. All the details will come with a stamp.
Well,
But again,
I like it that you use the postage panel and I use the frame die.
Yeah, I'm again added more details like the Postage Collage frame, and also I like to add white accents by just drawing some doodles with my white gel pen.
Well, Galina mentioned, she said you only need a few colors. I don't think so, guys. Look at the examples on the back of your stencils. Yeah, that's something new we started to add the color inspiration on the back of the cards. So you'll be able to see the colors But seeing the examples really helped me picking the colors out and get what I want.
For me, having those examples on the back of our cards gives me more ideas that what I can change on that card. Of course, I will go first with a sample I have, but then I see what colors I can choose so they will look fine together.
Love it. Next top picks will be our each top 5 picks of all the cards we've made from Postage Collage stencils.
Right.
Because I have something else. Because all the silhouette stamping and all that is just beautiful, and we've seen many beautiful takes on them. So we're limiting it to the same stencils to help you to
help us
to help share what you might be missing. Okay, top 5 cards made from Postage Collage stencils.
Right.
I need to organize a little.
Okay, which one I used for this one?
We'll pick from number 5 to number 4 to number 2, number 3, number 2, number 1. They're all favorites.
Yeah. I don't have back cards.
I'll leave that in there. We were looking through our cards and finding the top 5 picks. We are going to rate them like a most favorite, second favorite, third favorite, but it's very hard. So we're just gonna pick 5 cards and then share it by the time we make them, because we cannot pick a favorite from our favorite cards.
Yes, I agree with that.
We'll just share it by the time we make them.
Yes.
Okay, then it's easier.
Yeah.
All-time favorites.
Even with March and today.
If the cards are made from the same stencil, then it counts as 1. How's that? So top 5. So we just changed it. So top 5 stencils that released all time of our favorites in the order they were released. The earliest one first.
So we're starting from the oldest.
Oldest release.
Oldest release, our
Ready?
favorite card. Which is yours? I love that they're seasonal.
Yeah, they're both seasonal. The first one, I think this is actually released the 2nd July.
July,
The
yeah.
second Christmas release. We actually have a bundle for all these cards. We have the poinsettia was on the original Christmas stencil. We flipped it and have it as a little mini die-in stencil. I really liked it, and see how I had glitter on them. I had so much fun with a little mini postage. And then that's the snowman. The snowman is really easy, only 2 layers.
It should be your favorite.
That's why it's my favorite. And then I also, actually, when we have the first year with the Postage Collage, I'm spending more time on designing and trying to like learn about stencil. Because we only have stencils for a year when we have Postage Collage, and we're still learning. So I think I spend more time learning about the product design. And this is the one I sit down and I have to play with them because they're so fun when I was designing them. And this is one of the cards during the whole release that I really enjoyed making. So easy. And I remember using the rest of the panel of the snowman stencil on some other cards, but this color, like this thing just really jumped out at me, and I really enjoyed it.
Yes, the most important thing is to have fun while you're creating.
I think maybe that's what I'm looking at it, is how much fun I've had when I was creating this card. That makes the snowman stencil well, am I cheating? Because that's that's actually the poinsettia stencil, which is a mini. It's a one.
Yeah.
It's called postage poinsettia die and stencil. The stencil and the die is actually one product. So, but then.
You didn't say that. We will count it. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
Okay, so your turn.
I think I just love seasonal merch. It's no matter what holiday it is, but I like all stuff seasonal. And the spectacular one is one for Halloween, and I really enjoyed to play it because I want to have like all basic Halloween colors on one card, but with one postage stamp. And it was really easy to stack them all around. I just trimmed them, and I didn't make like whole panel. I just trim the longest one 3 times, and I use stencil only on those trimmed stamps. And I changed color of cauldrons, and I placed some stamped details, of course, and some white gel pen accents, and...
Okay, I have one thing to add. Do you remember that's also the month we had the first blocks die?
That's why.
Yeah, so
I
the
have a
blocks
special
die.
frames around
Yeah,
this.
so I remember where like we need to film this part that with the blocks die, you can just cut out the block and put it on your grip mat and then use a stencil to color it 3 times and easily. Like you can pick a design and repeat them on your card. And with the blocks die, it's so easy. You just cut out the cutouts, multiple times and then blend the same design. You can change the color, but whatever, it just makes the stencil more versatile and it's so easy to do repetition technique with the blocks die.
Yeah, and other reason we have that block dies because I really want to change color of the this postage edge. No, postage edge.
But all of them are black.
Yes, because usually you use like white panel. You can stencil only on a white card panel, but if you want to have a colored postage edge, you use a block die and just mix and match with different colors. Like on this card, I use all different colors for my postage edges, and I just mix it color of cardstock.
Yes, that's very cool. We should do this earlier. We should do this. Pick your favorites earlier. So much memories coming back when looking at your cards. Okay, the next one. I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
1, 2, 3.
Cheating process. I have 2.
So that's the palm.
It was the palm stencil, and I have 2 just because they're like made with one stencil with a similar collage. I didn't trim my die cut, so I just changed colors. And on this card, I added some die cut details to have more dimension on my card and like kind of combines the whole stems in one background, so it's like one pond. And those images can be like separated images, also can be trimmed, but I want to have like the whole background on one card.
I remember this one was my favorite for a long time. I have new favorites, but this one I think was one of the first ones that we had to have part of the stencil left white to be the design. Like the swan is white, the lilies are white, so you only need the background, which makes it very easy. So you only need to blend in the water and then the lily pads, and then you're done. So I loved this one. It was very easy.
It was very easy.
Now you know my keywords.
Yeah. I also like it because you can, of course, use it for Valentine's Day cards or for even mom cards or thank you cards. And the little frog, is so fun and so cute with this lily on its head and little baby swan, and it's so cute. That's why I like it.
Okay, but also this is another one. I think one of the early ones we started to have dies that works with the postage. That was actually, I don't even think we call this Postage Collage.
No,
but we designed it to work with the postage stencil. But we will add the name Postage Collage to the die. But at that time, we know we designed this for the Postage Collage stencil, but we didn't thought about having the name in there. But now people can find it if that's what they want.
Yes.
So my card is this. I think I was swatching. Actually, I was swatching all my inks in that time and discovered a new color combination I never tried before, the purple with blue and greens. And I really liked the card, just the color. And the frame was die cutting, was a leftover of the Postage Collage panel that I cut out. This is a spring breeze stencil that even though we designed it for the Postage Collage, but it's actually a full pattern that goes around, that covers the whole pattern. Stencil it just on a plain piece of A2 size cardstock. And then I cut these out with the panel die. And then I left with this frame, and I really liked it. I think this is one of the first times I actually trim off the panels to make a card. That's one of the first times. I don't remember the previous ones, but this is definitely something I remember.
You're so an interesting card maker. First time stamping, first time.
Well, first time. Guys, this is Galina's Postage Collage collection. She designed all the parts that works together, but I was slowly catching up on using them differently. Maybe I did some other ones. The Christmas ones, but like intentionally wanted to cut it out and make my own collage. Because I'm trying to use the hugs.
That's why.
You're all tied together.
Yeah.
All right, the next one.
The next one. I made a sneaky cheek peek, and I'm really surprised on that.
1, 2, 3. So that was my top
Stencil.
top 3 stencil from last year.
And that is my card. Like, I like this stencil, but I even more like this card. I think it's because I tried new color combination. Because usually I'm going like basic rainbow colors, and on this stencil allows you to use like small, not a lot of, like only a few colors on this stencil, and they really like the colors pop up if you use like bright, close together, well mixed colors. Yeah, that's why I really like it, and I like this new color combination of dark blue and orange, and I really like small details that again
We need to add Postage Collage to the name.
Yeah. They were like for a regular size cards, but why don't you can like just use a small dice on your postage, even if it's just for a regular card.
Yeah, so you're using postage more like a background and then use the little die-cut elements to help frame your sentiment. Yeah. That's so cute. Okay, so my card is a coastal stencil. I love it because it's so easy. So it's very sunny. I like how everything kind of have the blue sky and the water. Maybe because I like blues and greens a lot. So I really like the summery look, and the crabs are red. And so, yeah. And then we are also, I think this is one of the ones I wanted to, like, once I started on trimming them out, I really like to have some kind of background that will help bring out the colors. And then we have the 2-step stripes stencil, which makes it making colorful stripes, like a rainbow stripes, super easy. So I just think the card came out together very quickly, very enjoyable. I think, again, it's the experience I had when I was making this card. It makes me happy when I see it.
Let's do our next card.
Yeah.
What we're gonna to have?
Okay, I'm ready. All right, 1, 2, 3.
Stencil.
Yes, the coastal stencil again.
Yeah, coastal stencil again. Because my husband is a stamp collector, and I always see those stamps, and a lot of new collections, like from last year, came up with some kind of coastal theme, and I think it's a kind of a mainstream having a lighthouse on a stamp, but it's like a basic stamp. Like almost every country has them. That's why I want to have a lighthouse on my stamp, and it was so enjoyable, so fun to mix them with other stamps and small details. And again, for these stamps, I also add a colorful frame.
By the way, to get this same frame on the postage panel, you just cut out the postage blocks die. Trim off the frame die of the blocks die. Trim off the frame die, and you get a very thin lining for your card, for your postage edge.
Yeah, and the second one is again cheating because it's the same stencil. I made them like in a set.
I have cheating too. I have cheating too on this one.
Okay. That's okay. Stripes to keep my scene like
those are all the 2-step stripes.
Yeah,
because stripes just goes with a coastal theme.
Coastal theme, yeah. So it was so summery. I like both those cards.
Cool.
Let's go.
I love them too. The lighthouse is also available as a die set, just so you know. All right. So mine is a peony.
Oh.
Okay, because are we talking about cards or are we talking about stencils? We cheated on saying stencils because with these 2 cards were made with one stenciling of the panel. So 3 of them goes down here, 2 of them goes down here. Here they are the focal point, here they are the background. And then I also like the little ladybug die that we put on top of it. It's just perfect. Oh, and the background. the background blenders made blending this background really easy. So I think part of it is I was testing the background blenders, so I used it. Then I should use it more. It's so pretty, the look.
Definitely.
Do you like the background blenders?
Yeah, I do like. And the other reason I do like them because I can make a light colors easier. So I separated my brush to like regular brushes are for intense colors and background brushes are for light coloring, ink blending.
I think it calls for another video.
Nina was mentioned that I like details and a lot of colors. For me, it's also easy, like for her, to blend just 1-2 colors because I'm using a small detail brushes, and for me, it's so fun, so easy just to switch from regular brushes to small one and add details. And that's why I have all my postage collages so colorful, because I'm using a lot of the small details. And I also love to use shader brushes 3. They are wider, not round one. So I can put out the ink from edges and add shading, like I did.
Yeah, those are the flat tip ones are really good.
Like on this card, I pushed ink from edges to center with those.
Those are
brushes.
the easiest ones to blend the edges.
Yeah, and with, of course, you can try with the regular one, but with the smaller one, it's much easier, and you have more control on those small openings.
The bigger the brush, the lighter the color. So the smaller the brush, the more intense the color is. First of all, choose an ink pad that's kind of in the medium shade, not too dark, not too light. Then with the 3 brushes, you can get 3 different shades of the same family. So you don't need to have all the colors, but with the brushes, you can get the different shading on.
Yes, and of course with regular brush you also can do light colors, but I also I need to
the oval brush. With the oval brush, you can adjust pressure and get 1 to 2.
But also for my side, I need also put ink out from the brush by rubbing it on a paper towel. That's why I know for sure I will have like light color on my background. But
you mean between use, you wipe your brush clean on paper towels and then move to a lighter color.
Yes, but with the background brushes, I don't need it.
Because they're light already. Yeah. Okay. Next. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I can't believe this is now your favorite.
It was hard. It was hard with all 5, but why I like this? Because I add shiny details. And we have, again, layers that can help to add not only ink, but glimmer paste, texture pastes, every kind of paste you can just... But why I did it in this way, some of the images are already was ink blended, and so I applied color ink first with a detail layer, and then I applied a white semi-transparent glimmer paste, so I have not even white details, but all them are colored. And I like this small image because it has a cute heart on it.
The secret ingredient is love.
Yeah, and I have a matched die cut on a pie.
Well, I talk about this so much that I don't know.
You just like them, and we can see that because you show them 3 times in a row.
Is this my 3rd pick already? Well, I will use it because that's the new frame die. And then I was so surprised I could make this, I guess. I was so surprised how good they turned out. And I really like them. And they are the newest so far. But I'm looking forward to May and June. We have really good ones. So if you look on the checklist, it will cover the Postage Collage products from May and June because our first release was in July. But we already finished the designs and we decided to have this in April. But there's more coming and they're all very fun.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
That's it for year 3 of Postage Collage. I hope you enjoyed this video.
I hope you also enjoyed this April release as we did, and we will see you next year. Not next year, why next year?
Next time.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
And another page, which is new, just in April, I will restart. We started design our first Postage Collage design back in
2000.
3 years ago is 6, 5, 4. We released in 2023.
Oh, really?
What do you mean?
And when you're placing blocks die cuts, you can raise them on a foam tape.
Do you have an example? Okay.
That again? And on camera. There's one more thing new. It's a square postage collage, and we want to have it. We will give it with a. It will be a gift with purchase to help you. We will give it to you. No, sorry.
Your chickens.
Your chickens. Should I show chickens?
Pick 5 cards and then sort them by the time.
You see, I have already 7. I can't do that. I can't. Okay, one more and that's all. Which one is early? So this one is latest. Like this, later.
Just waiting on Galina.
I don't remember all the numbers of.
No battery.
It's again on this tablet.
So that's it for year 3 of Postage Collage. I hope you enjoyed this video.
And we see you next year.
See you to them, not to me.
And we will see you next year. Bye.